Hello and welcome. We are here again in the old bug room. This is where I hang out on a daily basis. So if you're just tuning into this one and you've not watched any of the previous ones, this is a little bit different to the usual live streams I do on a Wednesday and a Saturday evenings. These are just me dipping in and out on the live streams just to have a little bit of a chat. If anybody wants to kind of ask me anything or just see what I get up to, this is what I get up to. I'll just be going about my business, feeding, breeding, rehousing. Basically, we are in the bug room. This is mainly full of mantis. This is the room you never usually see if you watch all my previous live streams, which are done in the shed. And in the shed, that is where all the bitey, stingy tarantulas, scorpions, and all that sort of stuff hang out. This is more about the mantis, and I've also got all the slings in here as well. So, but this is where I spend my day to day. I'm here every day, several hours in and out throughout the day. So I've finally got around to setting up a little bit of a streaming area in the bug room, as well as now in the shed. So day to day, unless it's like the Wednesday or Saturday kind of like more of an event sort of live streams, they go on in the shed. These are the day to day sort of live streams, which are a bit more relaxed, just me going about my business, and yeah, just here if anybody wants to pop in. The stream key is in the description as always. So if anybody wants to come on and have a chat and just hang out, it's all very relaxed, you know. So yeah, I just go about my business unless people start asking me stuff. So there you go. So what I do have is I've got a Criticam 2 set up in here now. So as well as me just like going about feeding stuff here, I'm also going to be every now and again I'll show a few other bits and pieces that I've got in the bug room, whether it be some breeding, and that is going to be the Criticam 2, which I've got set up today. So we've basically got my Predatory Beetles, which I've brought into the bug room, and today I'm going to chop up some roaches, and I'm going to drop them in there, and we should see a little bit of action going on. There's not many in there at the moment. They since I've changed their environment, they now have the ability to burrow and tunnel and everything. So there's not as many comes out during the day. They pop in and out during the day every now and again, but once they realise there's some food in there, I'm hoping there'll be a little bit more activity going on. So yeah, there you go. These are the Graphitocerator. These are Egyptian predatory beetles, but they're not the same Egyptian predatory beetles as you might be more familiar with, which are the Anthea predatory beetles. These are slightly different, and I think they're a little bit nicer. So there you go. I can see Gav moving around in the background. He's not come on screen yet. He'll come on when he's ready. And hi, Lewis. How you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah. So I'm going to just even that out a little bit. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to. So the predatory beetles, they will kind of hunt and eat prey themselves, but I found that they are a lot more. They seem to be a lot happier when I kind of chop roaches up and put them in here as well. So yeah. So that's what I tend to do these days. I tend to just like cut them into 2s or 3s sections and then just pop them into a little feeding pot, which is what I'm going to do here. So I hope everyone's all right. Claire's in the house. How's it going, Claire? What do I need? Scalpel, tweezers. It's like Gav's having problems again with his technology. Hey, oh.
It did it again, that same thing. And all I did, I just pressed start cam again.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with it.
Fair enough. It's all good. How's it going, man? You all right?
Yeah, not bad.
Yes, that's right, Claire. You do. You basically, yeah. I mean, if you've got other things in your life, which most of us do, you basically have to have them on a feeding cycle. It's just, I mean, I'll be honest. I've got so much stuff. Even if I had nothing else to do all day and all night, I still wouldn't have time to feed everything in one day because that'd just be, it'd just be impossible.
You just couldn't, could you?
You just couldn't handle it. You just go out your mind as well,
Yeah.
The good thing is, I've got so many varieties of inverts now. Obviously Mantis and Tees makes up the bulk of my stuff, but we've got other things. We've got other like little roaches and beetles and other bits and pieces knocking about. All the true spiders we've got now, scorpions. It mixes things up a bit, doesn't it? We like you can. It's not like I'm just feeding mantis all day. I make sure now that I mix it up and I feed mantis, spiders, and other bits and pieces like every day now. So it's it just makes it a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? Rather than just feeding. Like back in the day before I started like dabbling in tarantulas and stuff, when I was just mainly doing like true spiders, mainly jumping spiders and mantis. It got a bit much because it was basically just feeding mantis just about all day, every day for it was just 7 days
It's
a
that
week.
change of scenery, innit?
You just need a little bit of change, don't you? So
yeah.
So basically, all I'm doing for these predatory beetles is I'm basically got some red runners. These are they're a mixed size, but I'm mainly picking out like medium sort of size red runners, and I'm just cutting them in half or into thirds. I know it sounds brutal, but c'est la vie. They
It has
exist.
to be
They,
few days, Lewis. Otherwise, they start nibbling each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. The main reason I've brought them in from the shed into the bug room is not is because I was struggling for nice setups to put behind me in the bug room. Because all the nice stuff, if you've been watching my previous streams, are mainly like teas and stuff, so they're all in the shed. But also they just need feeding a little bit more often than like when you're here, Gav.
Yeah.
They need feeding like at least every. No, but I wouldn't feed them, every 3 days max. So that's about the maximum time frame between. Because like Gav said, they just start to tear little chunks out of each other. I know I've lost a few already, but yeah. So I aim for at least twice a week. You've gone again, Gav. I aim for at least twice a week, Lewis. Sometimes even 3 times a week. It just depends. So basically, all I've done is I've cut up about 6 or 7 roaches. I'm going to put them in now, and you'll once they realise that they're there, you can actually see there's actually 2 pairs at it right now. I'll just zoom in and show you. You can see them. You can see them here. Look. So there's a pair there. Look. And this is they're a bit like death painting beetles. These predatory beetles. They're basically at it all day, every day, and then there's another pair there. Look, so
They just never stop.
they just never stop. They're just like death painting beetles. So there's two pairs there. There's a couple more down here. You can't quite see them because of the rim of the glass. You can just about see them there. There's one in the corner. So so there's the food. I'm gonna just pull out a little bit, and then you'll see once they. Once they realise it there, they'll start to. And what they'll do is they'll. Once they realise it's there, they'll go over to it, and they tend to grab their food, and then they run and they go off and hide somewhere. They start running off all around the enclosure, and I think that's basically just like because obviously if they're in the wild, I think because food's potentially because of the arid conditions they live in. I think because potentially food's quite scarce. I think once they find food, they basically run off. Because if there's only a finite amount of food, they really do start to just like fall out and start fighting over the food and stuff. So yeah, they tend to run off and try and hide somewhere to like eat their food and stuff, which is fair enough. We all do that, don't we? Anyway.
Yeah.
So hi Toby, you're all right, buddy? How's it going, mate? Nice one. What's Lewis talking about?
It's just on about the.
He might get one when he moves out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can get this particular species anymore. I don't know if Lee's got these in again. I pounced on these because they don't come around very often. Obviously, the Anthea segulata kind of come through. Sex and these sex is he which ones are they? The sex max, aren't sex maculata or something like that? I can't quite remember.
Sexatatus.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's two similar varieties of Antheus that come around that are quite relatively common. But these G cerators, they don't come around very often. So I kind of pounced on these. I mean, they've done all right. They've done okay. They're not quite as aggressive as the Antheas. That's what I like about them. They tend to they're a little bit more forgiving. I have had Antheas before. There you go, sex maculata. I think that's what I said.
Yes.
And I've had those before a few times, and they just tear chunks out of each other. Even if you feed them regularly, they're still really aggressive towards it. So, hi Dawn, you all right? Good morning.
Hey, Dawn.
How's it going? Yeah. There you go. Dookie the rookie. She's calling you a rookie, Dookie. Is that what she calls you? Is that because you've only just started keeping spoons and stuff? Well, I say only just. I think I think Dawn's relatively new. Is she, relatively speaking? I think she's been. I'm sure I remember we were talking about this like in a previous stream where Dawn was saying that she's not been keeping for that long. So there you go. They've obviously got a little thing going on. Now, Lewis, I mean the answer is yes. You can keep them on their own, but whether or not they're happier in a group is something I can't answer because I don't know. As far as I'm aware, they do hang out in colonies in the wild because they basically take over like termite mounds and ant nests, and they live they live amongst them. They're actually really, really clever. We did a whole stream when I set up that enclosure. You can see that I've got Criticam on. I did a whole stream on that. I don't know whether you watched that, where I did the desert bioactive setup for that, and we talked a lot, didn't we, about how the predatory beetles, just generally predatory beetles, in these arid, deserty kind of conditions, they kind of live in almost like in some kind of symbiotic relationship. I mean, it's not so much a symbiotic relationship, but I think I don't know how symbiotic it kind of is in the classical sense, but the predatory beetles basically they emit a type of pheromone stroke chemical which mimics the scent of the ants, and it allows them to cohabit the ant nests with the ants without being attacked by the ants. It's very cool.
I've been thinking about this, right? You know, like we were on about maybe they fed off the ants.
Yeah.
Well, what if it's the air conditioning? Because ants and termites build their nests in such a way that they have like a constant breeze that funnels through their nest, taking any stale air out and also cooling certain parts of the nest down. So I wonder if they live alongside them so that they can live in a climate like that, are more bearable than out in the actual arid desert.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very, very likely. Or not, it's very likely. It's one of many reasons why they do it. You know, but yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to have to just change the battery on Criticam because I've just noticed it's going to die soon. Well, I'll just wait till it dies. So, pink wing stick insects. Ooh, pink wing stick insects. Now, do we want stick insects? And we were talking to Sam about this the other day, saying that.
I think these similar to the black beauties.
Yes, that's just what I was. That's what I visualized. As I mean, I don't know, to be honest, because I don't know obviously which ones are they. Are they the black beauties? Dawn. I should just like. Have you just made up a new name for them?
No, I think there is an actual
separate.
pink
They're
wing.
a separate. They're a separate species. Yeah, I don't. Maybe Dawn. Maybe if they're worthy of Criticam, we might. I might take a few off you. Send me some photos, or I'll Google it at some point. So yeah, that could be quite interesting. We're definitely looking for stuff that's a little bit unusual, a little bit different to showcase on Criticam. Definitely. Let me just get something to feed. I can't believe the beetles have not found this food yet. But to be honest, they're not really moving around very much. They're not very active today. But they'll get there eventually. They're too busy bonking. That's what's up. So gonna feed me my Callies, Carols, Carolinson.
Syphiloidae syphilis.
What are they? Sorry,
Syphiloidae syphilis.
syphilis.
Yeah, syphilis. Syphilis sticks.
Right? Are they nice?
They've
got to be wow. They've got to be wow.
Hang on, and I'll get it.
We're only taking stuff that's absolutely mind blowing because we don't really dabble in stick insects, to be honest, and so if I was to take a few species of stick insects, they would have to be absolutely amazing. Just like those what Sam posted a few weeks ago, those red ones, they were just completely beautiful. They were so beautiful. So I got my pretty come go down there. Oh, what keeps going? Oh, there we go. That's why it won't work. Oh, okay. Yeah, but what do they look like when they're not like opened up like that? Are they just brown?
Yeah. I don't know. They've got some cool markings, like where the wings meet the body.
Yeah.
And then the
Okay.
legs, but they're
Yeah.
not quite.
Yeah. I don't think they're ready. I don't think they. Well, look at you got some beautiful, beautiful markings on the legs, and with the black and the yellow.
Yeah, I just don't think that the quite great
I'm
cam.
not sure. I don't think they're up for it. Thanks, Dawn, but you know what we need? We need a buzzer. We need a ding, 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 and a buzzer.
I mean, I just seen when I was looking for them. Then I saw one that were pinned. Now they look cool pinned and like framed.
Yeah. That's a female. I'm gonna sex me. I'm gonna sex me carols while I'm at it. I've been meaning to do it for ages.
She's been trying to palm them off to Claire.
Oh, you see, look at that. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we know what's going on. Nobody wants them, so she's palming them off to us. Well, we're not having it. Keep them. Well, thank you for offering, though, Don. Appreciate it. Yeah, space is a premium round here, I'm afraid. We don't just take any old new species on these days. It's even though I've sorted out
Oh. Yeah. You mean like now? Yeah. Right. Right. But
can't believe beetles haven't found the food yet. It's ridiculous. Unless they have and I just haven't noticed. It does look like there's a gap in the space in the food.
she's got 4 feral kids.
Yeah, I've actually since I reorganised the shed a little bit, I have generated a little bit of space, but it's probably going to get used up very, very quickly. But I'm hoping to keep a little bit of space clear for a couple of new projects down the line.
Yeah.
We're not really sure what yet. It just depends. So, Dick Service Incorporated says.
Well, don't. Removed.
I think that's a male. These are getting a good size. These, they might even be pre-subs. Some of these carols now. I can't believe those. Beetles have still not spotted the food yet. I think that's another male. Oh. Yeah, definitely a male. Cool. Well, that's a couple of males and a couple of females I've spotted, so that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm hoping it's going to turn out that I've got at least 3 pairs in these juvenile carols that I've got. You know? So that's good.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It's the only reason I'm feeling a bit relaxed about the that adult male and female I've got not getting it on. I'd be a lot more annoyed if I didn't have all these juveniles coming through. So, because I haven't seen these for sale anywhere else. But then again, it's not like I'm actively looking. So they could be common as muck, man. For all I know, I'm sat here saying I haven't seen them anywhere else for sale. I haven't even looked. What I'm talking about.
I think Claire a bit one to tell you that.
So yeah, Claire, I was just wondering these carolensis, are they knocking about or anything? Has anybody got them? Are they doing any rounds or are they coming through? Because I'm just curious as to whether or not I've found myself a little hidden gem here. Because I think I've got at least 2 pairs in these juveniles that I've spotted, so I'm hoping there's going to be at least 3, maybe even 4 pairs amongst them. So that's good. I did buy them all, Mandy. Yes, I'm just curious as to whether or not I bought the only ones ever.
They're all mine.
If I did, I might treat them with a bit more respect. As you know, I'm looking after them well. I'm feeding them and everything.
Such a novelty.
Hello. What sort of roaches we talking, Dick? Is there a pun coming here?
I don't know. I can't.
Are we taking this guy seriously or what? You'll have to excuse us if your name is Dick and you have a service and not related to the name, and you are a serious guy. We apologise because obviously we do get some spammers every now and again, and we have to say your name looks very, very suspicious. So we are being very, very suspicious.
And it's an open age stream as well.
It's an open age stream. There's no restrictions. It's middle of the day. You know, we've got to be a bit careful. So we apologise if you're a serious dude. And yeah, fair enough, dude. The name's a bit of a joke, but it's hanging out. You know what? It's fine, dude. As long as like it's all just in the name, and there's going to be no other bits and pieces coming out of your mouth, then we're fine. Yes, mate. We've got roaches. I mean, the ones that do you mean you want them as feeders, or do you mean you want them as you want nice roaches for pets and stuff? Because there's obviously 2 types of roaches that people have. You know, I mean, the bottom line is we've got no roaches for sale, so I might as well just nip that in the bud.
Yeah,
without keep dangling the carrot in front of your face, which I have been doing. But yes, we do have roaches. We have feeders, and we've got nicer roaches which people have as pets. But we don't have any for sale, so not right now anyway. But we've got a few colonies of nice roaches coming through. But yeah, if you're talking about feeders, the ones that I'm assuming you are, because he's saying the ones that die.
Yeah, so that they can't end up breeding if they escape.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like majority of feeder roaches are that way inclined anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because they require higher temperatures to breed anyway. generally. So I mean, we use Turkestans and
Turkestans will readily breed if they get out.
Yeah.
Lobster roaches as well. They will breed if they get out.
Yeah, it's mainly Dubaias, isn't it? That
they're the ones that don't do too well.
They don't do well if they get out because they just require that little bit higher temperature. I feed Turkestans to everything, mate. From mantis, from small to medium sized mantids to once they get past the fruit fly stages. And I use roaches, Turkestan roaches, as a alternative feeder to flies. So I feed them green bottles, blue bottles, and Turkestan roaches, and then all the tarantulas and true spiders all get fed on Turkestans, and then the larger individuals like the bigger tarantulas and stuff, they get fed on a mixture of large Turkestans and Dubai roaches. So everything, I'll be honest, everything. There's nothing I don't think there's anything I keep that I don't feed with Turkestans at some point. Dick's obviously new to the channel.
Yeah. Just one or two.
Yeah, got a few, dude. I mean, obviously, Unseen Universe has its roots in mantids, mate. If you obviously don't know me at all, so welcome to the channel. Yeah, I am basically the praying mantis guy, pretty much for the last 10 years or so. So I have a lot of mantids. I do a lot of other things now as well over the last few years, but yeah, mainly my roots are in the mantis stuff. No snakes, man, no snakes. Yeah, praying mantises I have in abundance. I've usually always got, I've got like 40, 50 species of praying mantis, man, always have done. And I've always got about at least 15 to 20 available species for sale at any one time. I do tarantulas. I've got over 30 species of tarantulas, either breeding or slings for sale. And true spiders. I've started getting a lot more true spiders in again now. Because the floodgates have opened with being able to get true spiders as well. So and scorpions as well. So they're the main kind of crux what we have here: mantis, tarantulas, true spiders, and scorpions. They're the main things. We dabble in a few other bits and pieces as well, but they're the main sorts of things. Sophie's in the house. How's it going, Sophie? You all right?
Yep, Sophie.
Okay, thank you. I did see something come through actually. I just haven't had time to have a look. Sophie sent me some photos. That'll be interesting, whatever that is.
Well, I wonder if that's a picture at Zebrata.
I don't know. I'll have a look in a minute. I'm just going to get something else to feed. I think no. I knew I'd not quite finished those. Too busy yakking, you see, and those beetles have still not had a go at the food yet.
Oh, one's coming.
Oh, we've got some activity.
No.
It's weird how they're just ignoring it. They've not been fed for about 4 days. I thought they'd be like on it.
They're like, no, we don't want that stuff. Give us something else.
I know, it's weird. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, no, I'll have a look in a minute. I'm just going to feed this last Carol, and then. So yeah, I think Dick said that he or she or whoever it is said that they were new to the channel. So if you're still there, mate, welcome.
Yeah, they said. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you got me interested now.
Yeah, I thought I saw that before Sophie took over the chat. I do, mate. I do. Well, yeah. I mean, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I do breed all my own mantids. Obviously, I generally breed. I probably breed 90% of my own mantids. I do take on other people's surplus from time to time, but generally I breed all my own. I mean, it's been in the right time, you know. Often we were talking about this the other day. Some males are just a little bit better at dismounting from the female once he's on and been connected for a while. I've actually got a male and female rhombodera still connected now from yesterday, and it'll be interesting to see what his exit strategy is going to be. So some males are just a bit more switched on than others. They have a better exit strategy of dismounting from the female, and they can manage to get away. Sometimes some of them aren't that bright, and they basically just like get off, and then they just like wander up near the danger area of the female, and they get snatched. And then sometimes the females just get fed up of the males being on their backs, and they start like giving it all this, trying to get the female off, and every now and again they'll catch the male and they'll drag him over and basically start eating his head while he's still attached to her. That happens quite a lot. I mean, if he's dismounted, if he's disconnected from her, and I'm here to witness it, I will help. I'll intervene. I'll take him off. I'll put. What I'll do is I'll put my hand between the female's back of her head and her prothorax, between the male and the female, and I'll just put my hand there, and I'll slowly like help to prise the male off, separate them, take the male out, and then it's sorted. But obviously, it depends on the timing. Sometimes if you pair some mantids like late in the day, and you have to leave them connected together overnight. Sometimes you'll get up in the morning and all you'll see is like the male's wings on the floor. So you know, and then other times you'll see the male will just be like at the other end of the cage waiting for his opportunity to get out of there. So yeah, it's just about. It's basically just all about whether or not you're there at the right time to help intervene. But like I say, it's 50-50 really. It's not a given. It's not a given that the female is going to eat the male every single time. If she gets a chance, she will, because it's a free meal. You know, she's hardwired to take that male because she sees him as just food. You know, she's just bred. You know, she needs a lot of sustenance. She needs a lot of nutrients. She's got a lot going on inside her to make those babies, obviously, and she needs every meal she can get hold of. So she will get him. She's an opportunistic predator at the end of the day. She'll have him first opportunity she gets. But like I say, some males are just a bit more switched on than others. Critter cam's died. Change battery.
That's like super quick.
What's that?
Sophie was saying a mantis only joined for 20 minutes. Is that still okay?
Depends what species. It depends on the species.
Is it a Yunnan? I can't remember whether it was a Creobrota.
I mean, to be honest,
Indian flower, it's Creobrota.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, 20 minutes is very quick. The only reason I was saying about what species it is because some smaller species, certain species like cryptics, Pretiosa, and ghosts. We were talking about this the other day ago. They jump on and off. So like males in ghosts, males will often connect for like short period of time, and then they'll disconnect, and then they'll connect again, and then they'll disconnect, and then disconnect. Whereas Pretiosas, males will keep jumping on and off. They'll connect for 15 minutes, they'll jump off, then they'll jump back on again a bit later on, and they'll connect for about another 15-20 minutes, and then they'll jump off again, and they'll keep doing that for a few hours. That's just basically their style. Creobrotas, Yeah, that's 20 minutes is not enough, I'm afraid. You might get a very small amount of fertility, but you won't get many. You won't get much, to be honest. 20 minutes, you might not even get anything. I mean, what happened? Did he jump on, connect, and then just like disconnect and jump off again? Is that what happened, or did she pull him off and eat him, or I mean, how did it happen? I can't believe these.
Oh, he's going all right. Because she said I might try again tonight.
Oh, okay.
So he's obviously still alive.
Yeah. Sometimes they just. Sometimes they're just not comfortable for whatever reason. You know, they connect and then they disconnect, and you know they don't bother. So sometimes they get a bit distracted. Yeah, try again. But yeah, 20 minutes is not enough, I'm afraid. I would definitely try again. Oh, yeah. What did he do? Did he get distracted by her food? And did he start showing more interest in the food? Sometimes if the males are still a bit hungry, they'll be more interested in getting the food from the female. That's quite annoying sometimes, you know, like when the male's like on her back and all he's doing is edging forward because all he's got his eye on is her food, as opposed to doing the business.
Dude, it's not worth risk, man.
Yeah, if they start doing that, the only thing you can do is take the male off, put him back in his enclosure, feed him up a little bit more, and then try again later on. The stream key is in the description. Right, are we going to take a risk on Dick?
Well, we'll see it before it comes on screen.
Yeah. The stream key is in the description. Got one of my adult female orchids there. Look, guys, looking very pretty. Yeah. Well, we're not having that, are we? I don't know what that is. You seem to have like a manga style avatar going on there, Dick. Is that what's all that about? I think we'll just delete that. I don't know what that is, but what do you reckon? Can't see all of it. Is it just a? What do you reckon, Gav?
Hey, what's up?
Hello. How's it going? I'm sorry we're being very suspicious, but I think you can appreciate it's looking all a bit dodgy.
Well, I'm a dodgy person. That you're being fair. My name's Dick Service. You're fine.
Okay.
This is a cool channel. Holy shit! I just stumbled across this.
So obviously you're in the States somewhere, are you?
What are the states? The states of what?
Where are you located?
I am in the beautiful country of the United States of America.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I guessed. So
we're celebrating our July 4th. We're having a big celebration in America. We're gonna have lots of fireworks.
It's the 1st of July today, isn't it? I forgot. It's 4th of July is coming up. So
I asked the man. I didn't actually realize you had anything to do with mantises, and then I looked down at the bottom of the stream, and I'm like, oh, it was covered up by the StreamYards chat, but I was like, oh, mantis.co.uk. I'm like, oh, yeah, wait, that's actually your thing.
Yeah, that's why
that's cruel.
That's what I was saying. My origins are in mantis breeding. That's why the website is.
Yeah, because I've seen like a lot of like YouTube videos where they're like, go have, centipede versus this, mantis versus that.
Oh yeah, well we're not really down with all that sort of thing.
I'm glad that you don't, because I think those are kind of gross. But it's like
you know, I mean, each to their own. But obviously, we don't agree with the whole like pitting two predators against each other
It's just for it.
just for you know, just for entertainment value. I mean, we're not.
Well, I was
we're
saying
not,
if you're really trying to entertain people, like put them in like a ring that has like fire shooting out of the bottom or something. You know, have like knives stabbing them.
Yeah, I mean, it just reminds me of like a Running Man scenario, you know, sort of thing.
Well, and it's almost like you could literally, you already know who's gonna win, like generally, so it's like stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's
like there was one video where what was it? I saw it was something that they just put in like a cage with like a bunch of they just put it in with 100 I don't know if it was roaches or ants or something.
Right.
And they just stuck it and they're like, oh, let's put it in for a bit and let's pull it out. And it's, oh, look, it's fine because it is a hard body. So it you know, it just got bitten slightly.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I mean,
what are you doing?
I'll be honest, I don't, I see them pop up on my, on the feed of my YouTube feed now and again, but I just scroll on by. I don't click on them. I don't, because you know, as soon as you click on them, then you're telling YouTube that there's people out there who want to see this content, and I don't.
Well, I do it because I'm a gullible person.
Yeah, the problem is every time, you know, with the way the YouTube algorithm works, they work on clicks and viewing time. So as soon as you click on a video that you disagree with, you're basically advocating it being there, because all YouTube cares about, the algorithm is how many clicks a video gets, how many views it gets, and how many interactions it gets. And the more it gets, you know, the more it feeds into the algorithm, and the more it'll start showing people it. You know what I mean? So if everybody just ignored certain videos, they would basically disappear from the YouTube algorithm. They would not appear on anybody's feeds anymore. And that's the way I look at it. So if I can see that it's a video just from the thumbnail, Mantis versus Spider, whatever, I'll deliberately just completely ignore it, because then I don't get, you know, because then YouTube starts to realize that I don't want to see this content, and I never have to get angry by it ever again. Do you know what I mean? So
you're a better man than me.
It's just experience, dude. That's all it is. I just know that that's how YouTube works. Yeah. So now because I know that, I choose to just ignore them completely, because the thing is, there's nothing else you can do. The best thing you can do is to ignore the video altogether. It's the only thing you can do. You're not going to stop. You're not going to have any.
Yeah.
You can throw some hate in the comments if you like, but these people who are making this content, they don't care. They don't care what you've got to say. They'll still do it.
Yeah, it's to bait you in because it's fun to watch. You know, it's just modern day gladiator arenas. You know, we can't have humans fight anymore, so we're gonna have like little bug fights on YouTube.
You know, we're all about the beauty and the passion for the animals. So that's why we keep them. You know, we love them.
I can tell.
We want to learn about them. You know, we want to learn about their environment. You know, we recreate their environments. I mean, look at these beetles I've got showing you now. I spent a whole night building this environment. You know,
that's your stream down there on the bottom right.
You see in the other box. Those are my North African predatory beetles. I spent a whole night, did a whole stream on building that environment. It's a semi like kind of desert bioactive environment. Because, you know, me and Gav spent ages trying to just looking into, you know, where they were from, what environment they're like, and you just want to recreate that. So they're, so they live the most natural life that they can live in our captivity. So we can learn from them, admire them, and be blown away by their amazing kind of just the way they go about their lives. And, you know, what's the point in having something like this if you're just going to keep it in a plastic tub and make it fight other things? I mean, you may
yeah.
You know, it's just,
make a good point.
It's so yeah. It looks like the beetles have finally found the food. Anyway, I just saw a couple.
What would you give them? Is it those little circles?
Yeah, the roaches. Yeah, so those circles you can see inside one of them is a bunch of chopped up Turkestans. You know, the roaches I was mentioning.
Yeah.
And then the other one's just got water in it. So
So those roaches are actually bigger than the beetles themselves, but you're feeding them chopped up bits.
I cut them into chunks, so you can see here.
Do you think I could eat those roaches and survive off it, or?
Probably.
Well, you could eat them, yeah, no problem.
Hell
so you
yeah.
can see one there, like having a little bit of a.
Oh my god!
Got a roach right there. So yeah. Oh, Stuart's in the house. How's it going, Stuart?
So I suppose he probably has to chop that into pretty small bits to eat it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I could just chop them in half. They'll quite easily just. I mean, some of those chunks of those roaches are bigger than.
Well,
that.
they have mandibles, right? They can.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, is he? He's there's no way he's gonna swallow that entire thing.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I when I did the setup for the Beetles, I actually had the macro lens on them, and we got some really nice close-up macro footage of the head and the mandibles, and they've got these like serrated kind of like sides almost, for chewing the food, and it's like a side effect. It's just absolutely amazing to see.
I'm just trying to think, like when I see like snakes eat things, I see that they just like swallow like a huge amount, like too big for their body. But like, is he gonna like eat that entire thing, but in chunks, or what is he gonna do?
Yeah.
This
is why they prefer freshly killed prey, because because their heads aren't very big. So if I was to feed them live prey, I would have to give them significantly smaller prey.
Yeah.
And they'd end up just chasing everything around all the time. Unless I gave them like something a bit more slow moving, like a Morio worm, or I think you guys call them super worms in America. We call them Morio worms. So they're quite good. Matty's in the house. How's it going, Matty? Right, I just need to get something else to feed. So do you keep any inverts or anything, Dick? I mean, have you got a? We know that Dick's not your real name. So do you want to give us your real name? Make us all feel a little bit more comfortable.
Okay. Well, my real name is Sam.
Sam, how's it going, Sam?
Hi, Sam.
I'm good. I do not currently have any bugs now.
Okay. Are you the kind of person who goes out for walks and admires the beauty of the nature around you?
I walk to get exercise, and I bike.
I thought you were going to say I walk to get Cheetos for the shop.
No, I can't walk within the place I live. I can't walk to get Cheetos within any distance. But yeah, gotta drive there because we live in America. We have something called suburbs. It sucks. It's bad.
But, yeah, cool. So, but you just like to watch videos of people who have inverts and stuff, or did you basically just stumble across this channel?
I just stumbled across this channel.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen other random stuff like that. I've seen Bug Wars, but not just that. To be fair, I've seen like a lot of random shit. Like
yeah.
Like I'm not just trying to. That's not. Yeah. No, this is cool. I appreciate this. Like I have my cousin. She's really into animals, not insects specifically. She's into like snakes and stuff. And
yeah.
So I think she'd appreciate something like this. This is cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, these streams that I'm doing like during the day and stuff, they're just like just dip on, just pop on every now and again, because this is what I do for a living. You see, I basically breed and sell inverts, spiders and scorpions and mantids and things like that. So I spend my whole day basically just doing what I'm doing now, feeding, breeding, all that sort of stuff. So just thought I'd decide to start doing like these little lives, because I've got quite a lot of friends, and there's quite a thriving community, not just in the UK, everywhere. You'd be surprised, you scratch that surface of people who are into like insects and bugs and things like that. And there's a whole world of communities out there of people, like-minded people who love keeping inverts, breeding inverts, and things like that. So yeah, and you found us.
Okay, wait. I did you okay. I used to have some lizards that I would feed crickets to. So I'd have the crickets feed on like little pieces of cardboard basically in their cage, and kind of keep them alive until I fed them.
Yeah.
That's about the most I've ever delved into the bug community.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we get a lot of people who have never kept like invertebrates, who are in they're in the exotic pet kind of arena. They keep snakes or reptiles or various other things like that, amphibians or whatever, or even fish. So they have a general interest in slightly different and more exotic sort of pets and stuff. And then they stumble across, then they realise that there's a running alongside or in parallel to their exotic life, there's also the invertebrate kind of exotic world going on.
Yeah.
So I often get like people who message me and say, "Ooh, I didn't realise I could keep a praying mantis as a pet. I'm really interested. I've been keeping snakes and geckos or whatever for years. You know what I mean? And I'm really interested in getting into this. So that's always nice when you get people crossing over from other kind of arenas of the exotic world, sort of thing. So yeah.
So theoretically, if I today was gonna order a invertebrate from you, or a vertebrate, sorry, what would be the easiest thing to take care of that you would suggest?
Well, the easiest I would probably say is probably like a baby tarantula, so to speak, like a sling, we call them, like a spiderling, like a young tarantula or something.
Don't they grow bigger?
But I mean, even though I think praying mantises are relatively straightforward to keep, I feel like a young spider tarantula is probably a little bit easier actually overall to keep. Mainly, the main reason being is that when invertebrates molt, spiders and things like mantises molt in completely different ways. Spiders tend to create almost like a protection for themselves when they molt, especially when they're young. They'll hide away, they'll burrow into like ground, or and they'll molt out of the way. Whereas a mantis, it has certain requirements, more specific requirements, because they hang to molt. So they need to have the right kind of structures in their enclosure in order to have successful molt. And they're also more susceptible to environmental conditions, things like humidity and things like that. Whereas I think tarantulas are probably a little bit more robust when it comes to, molting in certain environments. What say you, Gav?
So you're officially recommending that I get a tarantula as a starter pet?
What do you reckon, Gav?
What do you think, impossible inverts?
It's right what it's saying.
Also, I love your hair, by the way. It looks fucking awesome.
Thanks, man.
No, not you.
Probably some beetles.
What?
Actually, they're like a yellow beetle. Pashnoda. I can't remember what the Latin name is. But yeah, I think most people that I know have started their invert journey with beetles.
Seriously, most people are like, I want to get I want to get some bugs, so I'm gonna get beetles first.
Yeah, in some beetles,
Really?
millipedes, because they're all relatively easy when it comes to husbandry care. You just basically make sure that they have fresh fruit or veg.
There you go.
Oh, look at that guy! He just grabbed that piece of that mantis. Oh shit!
Yeah, that is rich. Some beetles.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I guess I was just thinking in terms of what I have for sale, because he said if I was to buy an invert from you, I guess I took that literally. Sorry, but yes, in order to if you were to say if I had everything available, I'd probably agree with Gav. Beetles definitely an easier invert to keep than.
Yeah, I'm saying like, what can I hide from my landlord? Because like, Jesus.
Well, do you know the good thing about a lot of inverts is that it kind of just looks like you can get away with just saying it's your pet pot of dirt, basically.
Yeah. No, I actually have a cool landlord.
The thing is,
I don't think I would care if I was like not like breeding roaches that were going to escape and become, hiding, living in the walls. But,
I mean, that's the other thing about. I mean, you're in the States. You've probably got roaches living in your walls anyway, haven't you?
that's not true. No. Okay, wait a minute. I don't
I'm only
live
joking, man. Only joking, man. I mean, as far as like keeping like a beetle, because they get some absolutely beautiful coloured beetles as well out there. There's some absolutely stunning looking things.
There is, yeah.
Iridescence and all those lovely, gorgeous colours. And like Gav said, they're dead easy to keep in terms of you don't need to feed them live. They don't eat living prey, which sounds to me like might be more suitable to your circumstances if you're worried about escapees. Obviously, with beetles and stuff, it's they'll feed predominantly on fruit and veg, really.
Yeah, that's one thing I do. I like imagine something gets out and you're like, oh, I'm the reason that this new.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm always finding, well, we're always seeing like roaches in the rest of the house that have escaped from the bug room. Personally, it doesn't. I couldn't care two hoots because they don't bother me. But
I imagine every time you walk in the bathroom, you find 5 roaches inside your toilet, and you're like, okay, flush.
It's the missus who's not happy about it, mate. You know what I mean?
It just becomes a norm with us, though, doesn't it?
It's usually like, because obviously the thing is, during the day the escapees they hang out in all the nooks and crannies and under the skirting boards and places like that. So when the evening comes, like you go into like you go into a room that's not had anything going on in there for quite a while. You go into like, say I go to the toilet, I go in the bathroom, I turn the light on, and there'll just be a roach there on the floor in the middle of the room, which would never ordinarily be there. It's only because it was dark and I've just turned the light on and it'll be there. And it doesn't bother me. My first instinct is, shit, it's a good job that I'm not the missus.
And it sounds like you have a wife, and I would imagine that really fucking bothers her.
Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, the thing is, a lot of people
you turn on the light, and there's no reason that rapist would be in the bathroom, but it's only because it was dark and he was trying to hide it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That was
the only reason it's like if she walked around with the lights off, then she'd never.
There'd be no roaches.
There'd be no roaches whatsoever. It's only because they scuttle out. They scuttle around when it's dark, and as soon as you turn the light on, that's when they become exposed. So. How's everyone in the chat? Is everyone all right? Everyone's just talking amongst themselves.
I think you have an amazing wife for putting up with the. Oh my.
Well,
God.
I mean, I've been doing it so long now, man. She has got used to it, but she never gets used to seeing roaches like in the bedroom or the bathroom. That's like a big no-no. And so she's, it's she's never happy about that, as you can imagine. But she's very understanding.
I'm on her side.
Tolerant. The thing is, a lot of people are in relationships who are into exotics. They tend to be both into the exotics. It's it's more. I think it's more unusual my situation where my partner, has absolutely nothing to do with what I do. You know what I mean? That's it's not unheard of. I do know a few other people who have partners who don't want anything to do with what their interests are in bugs and stuff. But a lot of the time, I also know more people whose partners they both tend to be into inverts. One's usually more into it than the other, but at the time, do which is to get more into my sort of thing. But unfortunately, my missus, I've been doing this a lot of years, and my missus is basically not showing any interest whatsoever. She's really
well. I mean, there's two different types of couples. One type of couple, like one tries to kind of understand the other person's interest and engage in it, and the other is like, "Hey, you do your thing. I don't care. Leave me alone. Just be my partner, and don't, you know."
Yeah, I think that's quite healthy. I mean,
I think the latter is better. I think what you have is much better than.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Imagine I wanted to be your lover, and I'm gonna pretend to be into your mantises and into your bugs, and then it's like,
Yeah, no, I actually meant I feel like it's healthier if you each have your own passions in life and interests, but you also have some mutual interests as well. I think that's the winning combination. I find, and that's the kind of relationship I have with my partner. I have the bugs and all the slightly off left of field sort of stuff that I'm into, and my partner, she has her interests as well, and but we also have mutual things that we both explore together. You know what I mean? So it works quite well.
Like funny British accents. I'm sorry. That was racist.
No, you're all right, man. You're all right. We're all friends here, man. We if we can't poke fun at each other, man, it's
No, yeah, I'll be right back.
Perfectly fine, mate. Perfectly fine.
Sophie, he's one of the main Beetle guys, so yeah, I recommend Richard's Inverts.
Richard. Yeah, Richard, man. Richard Nakamura, he's a great guy. He's so knowledgeable. He's another one of those really, really annoyingly knowledgeable guys, considering he's only in his early 20s. No, I've known Richard donkey's years, longer than most people I've known in the hobby, actually. He's a brilliant guy, and he's Richard's Inverts. If you want to know anything about any beetles or bugs or anything like that, he's definitely your man. Absolutely. He's an absolute diamond. He's a great guy. So he's the most knowledgeable person I know when it comes to beetles. Absolutely, hands down. Just to give everybody a heads up, I am going to shut this stream down in the next 5 to 10 minutes, just because I've got I have my duties to do before I go and pick my son up from school in a couple of hours. So I shall. The beetles are having a good go at the roaches now. Look, they've found them finally.
It took the time.
Yeah, it took the time, but they're getting there now. I'm just going to pull back a little bit so we can. There we go. Yeah, and also Sophie, he not only has an amazing breadth of knowledge when it comes to beetles, he usually has all the most exciting types that you want. So he usually has like a really nice variety of rainbow stags and all the really, really beautiful kind of iridescent coloured ones that you really want. He usually has a whole bunch of stuff going on. So yeah, definitely check him out. And he's always more than happy to help. Always more than happy to talk you through anything, help you out. He's such a great guy.
But you wouldn't recommend Mantises as like a starting.
I mean, it's a tough one because I never want to put people off. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're not. I'm just. Well, I'm just listening to what you're saying. It does sound like a lot of work, especially when you're talking about.
Well, it is and it is and it isn't. The thing is, there's not a lot involved. I mean, you see here, this because I have literally thousands of mantids here that I keep and breed, and so I don't have room to keep everything in beautiful, like these nice enclosures that you see behind me. I don't have space. It's just not practical as a breeder and a seller to have everything in beautiful enclosures. So I would say probably 90% of what I keep are basically kept in very, very basic.
Yeah, but if I was going to buy something, I got to keep it in the cup.
No, exactly. But this is what I'm trying to say. You don't need an elaborate setup. You don't need anything special. You can. In fact, sometimes part of the problem with mantises is that often people worry too much about getting conditions exactly how they've been. People, the internet suggests that they need to have them. People over-engineer their environments, and things like that. Make it too busy, put too much stuff in there. A more minimalist kind of, as long as they've got, these are the basic things you need for a mantis. As long as you've got an enclosure that's got something in it to allow if it's a glass or a plastic enclosure, then they can't generally climb the sides too well, especially when they get a little bit older. So it's good to have like something that they can climb up, so like some vines or some sticks in there, and the most important thing is that they have something to hang from. I use mesh tops, so even my enclosures that I make and sell, they've all got mesh in the top. But it's like I always say, having mesh at the top is not the most essential thing, providing you have lots of horizontal sticks and branches near the top. Because obviously in nature, they hang from sticks and branches and things like that anyway. They don't have mesh in nature. So, the mesh is only really very important if you've not got appropriately amounts of like horizontal sticks for them to hang from. So the most important thing is that they've got something to hang near the top so they can molt. And essentially, that amount of space, the general guideline is that whatever length your mantis is, the enclosure in height needs to be 3 times the height of the length of the mantis. That's like the basic general kind of rule. So as your mantis grows, you have to obviously think about increasing the size of the enclosure that it's in. And then the other main thing is having like a substrate in the bottom. I use tissue, but only because, like I say, I have that many. It's just not practical to keep cleaning out substrate, like soil and things like that all the time. But you buy like a substrate and just have that in the bottom like this. So you have like a soil vermiculite type mix of substrate, and you just keep that moist. You don't need to keep it wet. Just like give it a spray every day. The mantids like to have a drink, so you just spray inside the enclosure, and that just keeps the humidity levels up. And that's the most important thing. And then the other thing is having the appropriate sized prey for it to feed on. They're the most important things, really. Keeping the humidity levels up so it can molt, properly, and making sure it's got something to hang from and molt. The only reason mantids are a little bit tricky is because of the whole molting thing. That's the most important thing, really.
So it's more about like vertical space than horizontal space.
Vertical space. They don't tend to, different species hunt in different ways. So some are like go-getters, where they'll see their prey moving around and they'll actively go after it. Whereas others are more like ambush predators, where they'll just hang and they'll just wait for prey to pass them by, and then they'll snatch it out of the air, sort of thing. So basically, vertical height is like the basic principle, and mesh and things to hang from for them to molt. They are the two basic things for any species of mantis. What you put inside the enclosure will basically depend on which species of mantis you've got, because some you need to tailor slightly to accommodate, the type of mantis that you've got, because they're so different across the board.
Can you give an example?
Well, I mean, an example would be so like you say, your classic green mantis, like a giant Asian mantis, the sort of mantis everyone thinks of whenever anyone says, "Oh, it's a praying mantis." They're pretty robust. You can put a few sticks in there. They'll climb the sides of the plastic or glass quite easily anyway. And they'll hang and molt from their mesh or a horizontal stick quite easily. They'll actively seek out their prey. So they're relatively straightforward. They're one of the mantises that I would always recommend as like a beginner sort of mantis. And then you've got your more you've got your more kind of more specific type of mantis that require slightly different environments. So this is a mesh pop-up cube. And basically in here I've got what's called Idolomantis, devil's flower mantids. See those? Now the reason why they're in mesh is because they've evolved to have slightly different types of tarsals. So the feet essentially that they move around on and they hang and grip, they're of a slightly different design to like a lot of the other standard mantises. So they can't climb glass or plastic. So basically, if you've got like a glass or plastic enclosure and you've not got enough sticks and stuff inside for it to climb,
so they probably don't have like the suction on their feet.
It'll spend all its time just like trying to like climb the glass, which it can't.
Yeah, because the mantis is so I know something, but the reason like a green mantis, from my understanding, that could climb glass enclosure is because it has like essentially suction cups on its.
It has. Well, it does.
Well, it has a form. It has a form of like small vacuums on its feet.
They have very, very fine hairs. Very, very fine hairs on them.
Which effectively create small vacuums.
Which essentially increase the surface area, which work like a suction cup essentially. Whereas some other types of mantis, like the one I've just shown you, they don't have that sort of style of gripping. They have a larger appendage style kind of tarsal at the end. So instead of having lots and lots of hairs, they're kind of more smooth, but they have like lots of like phalange type intertarsals. Like they're more like our hand, like that. They grip like this. So that what they do is they've evolved to grip around a stick like this. So when they hang, they hang with their tarsal wrapped around a stick. So when they hang from mesh, actually they're only hanging from a very, 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 very small anchorage point at the top. So they're quite vulnerable to falling when they molt, when they get a little bit bigger. So you have to, there's different species have evolved slightly different mechanisms and ways of like doing things and moving around in nature. So you have to just be aware of certain things. So yeah, it's just all little things like that, really. But I would never recommend something like that for like a beginner keeper, just because they've got two. There's very specific things that you have to think about when you're looking after them. Not like the classic green mantis, which is very, very kind of standard. It's a lot more robust and it's a lot more. It can handle a wider degree of changes to its environment in order for it to thrive and to survive. So, right. Having said all that, I think I am going to have to draw a line under this stream now, guys.
Well, your beetles have eaten most of your cockroach pieces. So
yeah, they're really having a go at them now. They're cracking on now. So yeah. Right then, guys, I'm going to tie this up. I'm going to get going. I apologise to Stuart and a few others in the chat. Yeah, I've been. Sam has been. Was it Sam? I think you said.
Sam.
Yeah, it's
Sam has kept me busy. So I've been.
No, thank you for answering my questions.
No, it's fine.
I
This is
appreciate it.
This is part of the reason why I'm doing these streams, because it's I like to talk about bugs. So that's what we're all here for. We're all here to learn from each other. So yeah, thank you for dropping by. Anyway, it's been good, and yeah, I'll probably see you around, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna get. I'll be noon. I like to drop in and out, as it is. So take care, guys. I'm gonna get going. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.